here, coming at you live with my plastic surgery recap video. So today I'm going to recap my Miami plastic surgery experience. When I went to Miami, I had a I'm sorry, I was going to say a tummy tuck. Did not. I had lipo 360, and I'm really happy with the results. So first things first, let's talk about the doctor. The doctor that I had was Dr. Clifton Cannon with Vixen Plastic Surgery. Dr. Cannon was the GOAT. Dr. Cannon is the GOAT. Dr. Cannon did his thing with me, okay? I'm very happy with the results. When I say snatched, baby, I mean snatched, okay, with a capital S. Here's where the issue lies. I give Vixen Plastic Surgery, which is one of the clinics that he works with, a 7 out of 10. And I'm gonna tell you what, maybe even a 6. Maybe not even a hard, like a light 6, maybe like a 5.5. And the reason being was because they had absolutely no bedside manner whatsoever. So originally when I reached out to the doctor to get my body done, I reached out to New Life Plastics. And New Life Plastics is not who reached out to me. It was Vixen. I got an email and everything basically saying, thank you so much for reaching out to get the process started. This is what you need to do. And I'm like, but wait a minute, didn't I reach out to New Life? Like, who are you? You know what I mean? And I did see Vixen, but I'm like, okay. So I went, did more research on Vixen, and come to find out, they're all connected. All the doctors work through these different offices, which is crazy to me. They have like 3 or 4 different ones, which is like red flag. But you know what? I'm like, okay, we're just going to go ahead and go through with it. So after I filled out all the paperwork, I originally signed up to get a BBL. Now, some of y'all that personally know me probably like, girl, why did you do that? Because I did not like the shape of my butt, and I thought that if I got a BBL, it would correct that. So as the process went on, I decided that I did not want a BBL and that I just wanted lipo 360. And I wanted my arms done. And I switched it to that. So I had to sign a new contract and everything. Once I signed the new contract, we were good to go. I had my deposit down. Everything was good. But I changed my mind again. I was like, well, I really want a BBL again. You know what I'm saying? Like, why not? And so when I went back to try to get a BBL, they were like, well, you can only change your contract one time. And if you want a BBL, it's going to be an extra $1,000. And the BBL price went up. I said, oh, girl, please. I got a big butt. I don't want to be greedy. I'm cool with just a lipo 360. So I went ahead, started doing what I had to do. They told me I had to lose weight. I believe I had to lose literally like 30 pounds. So I did my thing. You know, it was really hard. Don't get me wrong. And I got stuck at a plateau. Like, it was crazy hard. But by the grace of God, it all worked out. So let's fast forward to the week before I got out there. They sent me some paperwork, and basically the paperwork was explaining to me what time I had to be there, what I needed to make sure of, you know, all of that. So we came down to Miami, flew in, checked into the Airbnb. The very next morning, I had to go to my pre-op appointment. I went to the pre-op appointment, got to the office early. I sat there and waited maybe for like 30 minutes, filled out this big, thick packet worth of paperwork. I did notice on the paperwork it said that I waived my right to sue because they do not have malpractice insurance or something like that. And all this time, I'm like, okay, girl, that's another thing. Like, why would you not have malpractice insurance, and why am I waiving my right? But okay, my ass was there, and I said, okay, I'm just going to keep going with it. So, got to the back. When I tell you it was chaotic, it was about 10 people in the waiting room, and it was about 20 people in the back. Mind you, this place is not that big. For every office, there were 2 people to the office. The office was, like I said, literally enough space for 2 desks, and that was it. So I got in the office, I sat with my coordinator, and her attitude was terrible. She really didn't speak English that well, and she was very short. Like, she was just like over it. And so when I sat down, she was like, okay, well, did you take a COVID test? I did forget to get my COVID test when I was here. So I said no. So that was a $50 charge. Then she's asked me if I had my fajas, and I told her I already had one. And she said, well, you didn't buy one of ours, so you have to buy one faja, which is $150. Then she said, did you get your medical clearance? And I said, yes, my doctor gave the medical clearance. However, my doctor did not provide a stamp, a simple stamp on the documentation, which is something that they require. My doctor explained to me that that's something that's very outdated. They don't do that anymore. So because my doctor did not provide this stamp, y'all, they made me pay $150 for that. So these were fees that I did not expect. That's another thing that I did not like. I like to know what I'm getting myself into so I can plan accordingly. I had the money plan for the Airbnb set. I had the tickets set. I had the surgery set. I had everything set money-wise. And then they come up talking about, okay, well, you got to pay another $500. Like, what? Oh, my God. So that pissed me off. And then once I got to that part, we did the drug test. They actually sat in the bathroom with you, which I get. They want to make sure that you're not switching pee. So they watched me do my drug test, and then I went to the post-op department because, they wanted me to get another EKG, which is something I had already had. So I was sitting there waiting. Mind you, it's young ladies bleeding from their BBLs. It's maybe like 7 or 8 women in this small waiting area, plus the person that was working in there. And when I tell y'all, they were bleeding and not crying, but they was just like, this one girl looked so pale. I felt so bad for her. And as a person who was about to get surgery, I'm like, this is not a good look. Because at this point, I could have been scared, like, no, I'm not going to do it. People were literally terrified. Not terrified, but they were literally just sitting there looking so sick. And then this one girl, when I went back to get my EKG, mind you, that took a while. The girl who was in the back getting her post-op massage was hollering at the top of her lungs, y'all, like somebody was back there skinning her. I was like, oh, hell no, they're not touching me. Like, this is what I'm thinking in my head. You guys are not giving me post-op massages. That's why I brought Aaliyah from Earthy Girl Therapeutics, which is my friend, and she provided me with my massages. I was not letting them touch me. So, and also there were women asking for refunds. So I was like, okay, that's like a red flag. But later I understood why. So after I did all of that, that took maybe about, I say the whole thing. I got there that morning at 10 o'clock. I didn't leave there until maybe about 1 in the afternoon. So after me and Aaliyah left, we went to Publix and we got some groceries, a few things to get ready for the next day. And so we went home to our Airbnb. Got to the Airbnb, had dinner, went to bed, got up early the next day because I had to be there for my surgery at 6 in the morning. So I got up at 5, was ready by 5:30, and just kind of like sat around and waited. Excuse me. So the very next day I got there and I was really excited, was nervous at the same time. Got up there, I met some really great people. Shout out to Selena. She got a BBL and she looked bomb, by the way. So as I was sitting there talking to these, wait a minute, I gotta rewind. So after I left out of the post-op department, I went to get my medical clearance after my EKG. And the medical clearance basically was just this doctor asking me a whole bunch of questions. That was it. And it almost pissed me off because they were very unorganized. And when I got to that point, they tried to act like they didn't know. Like, you have to go back to your doctor. And I'm like, what are y'all talking about? I literally came all the way. I went off at that point. So go back to the morning of. So I'm sitting there talking to Selena, and I'm talking to this other women, and everybody's a little nervous. And so when it's time to go in, this one lady comes. I guess she came after us, but I guess her appointment was before ours. And so Selena was like, so I've been here since 4 o'clock. Is she going before me? And the girl was like, she is. Like, I'm looking at Selena, and Selena looking at me, and I'm just like, damn, she got a lot of attitude, boy. And Selena was just like, yeah, basically, I gotta keep my composure because my life is in y'all hands, so I'm not gonna say anything. And I'm like, yeah, I understand. It's too late at this point to be acting crazy. So when it was my turn to come in, I went through the back door, through the door, and walked back to the end of the hallway, and they put me in this room. They gave me another drug test, and they made me change out of all my clothes, take everything off, and put on my gown and my socks and all of that. So then the doctor came in and he marked on me, and basically I was scheduled to get arm lipo and lipo 360, but because of the loose skin from me, from my weight loss, he explained to me that just wasn't going to be fair to me if he took my money and left me with more sagging skin. And I said, okay, doc, appreciate you. You don't got to say nothing else. So they refunded me my money, and I went ahead with the rest of the procedure. So I walked to the operating room. One thing I realized when I got in there, the doctor had his phone in his hand, and I'm thinking to myself, isn't this supposed to be sterile? Like, why are you on your phone? But I didn't even think about that until after I woke up, y'all. So I was just ready to get it over with. So I lay down on the table, and there's an anesthesiologist, the nurse, and him. So he lays me down, and I'm looking at him like, I trust you. I trust you, doc. I want to wake up. So the anesthesiologist put the anesthesia in my IV. And when I tell y'all, this shit was stronger than anything I've ever had. I was just like, it's like, it just, oh my God. It was so strong. As soon as he put that shit in there, I'm like nodding off. And as I start falling asleep, the anesthesiologist grabs this arm, the doctor grabs this arm, and I'm like, I ain't had a chance to panic, y'all, because I was out. I literally woke up a couple hours later. Like, they did me in only like 2 hours. So I woke up, it was like 8 or 9 o'clock. And as they were waking me up, they're like, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Made me get out the bed, y'all, and get in a fucking wheelchair, y'all. Made me get in a wheelchair. So I'm sitting there, it's cold, I'm hurting like a motherfucker. Mind you, they didn't give me no pain medicine. They didn't even give me my prescription the day before so me and Aaliyah could get it filled. None of that. So I'm sitting there, fresh out of surgery, no pain medicine. Got me sitting up in this damn wheelchair, and my fucking feet are freezing, y'all. And I'm just like, oh my God, I'm so cold. Can y'all help me? Ain't nobody trying to make me warmer. Nobody trying to make me comfortable. She just like, it's normal. It's normal. Like, basically, shut up, because this is what is, be quiet. This is what happens. So then they had me facing the wall, and I'm like, well, can y'all face me towards the door? Because there was people walking past, and while I was waiting for my ride, I'm like, okay, at least I got something to look at to keep my mind off of this pain I'm feeling. Girl, they turned me towards the damn door and closed it. I was like, oh, okay, I already see what y'all bitches on. Excuse my language, y'all. So then, when they turned me around, they like, can you call your ride? And I'm like, call my ride? I'm like this, barely able to hit the buttons on the damn phone. They like, call your ride. I'm like, oh my God. So I'm telling Aaliyah, like, can you come on? Where you at? It was traffic, so she was stuck. So when her and Liv finally got there, they brought me downstairs. They put me on the elevator. And at this point, I'm wailing, y'all. So they put me on the elevator. And mind you, it's an office building. So there's other offices. So there's people getting on this elevator as I'm going downstairs. And I'm, just, wailing because I'm hurting. The dude on the elevator gonna tell me, ma'am, you need to calm down because there's other people in here. I said, listen, don't fucking tell me to calm down one more time. I said, y'all didn't give me no pain medicine. This elevator is stopping on every floor. I'm trying to get up out of here. I'm feeling like I'm gonna die at this point, y'all. I didn't give a fuck about nothing. My titties was out. I ain't give a shit. So we get down to the car or whatever, and they're like, what color is the car? They're asking me so many questions about shit that I'm like, at this point, not caring about because I'm in so much pain, girl. I get up, girl, look, I'm talking to y'all like, look, like we on the phone. So I get up, right, out of this wheelchair outside broad daylight, cars, people picking up their other surgery, people coming in for their post-op massages. When I tell you the robe I had was not the right one, because they wanted you to have a fluffy robe. When I tell you my titties was out, they had tried to put tape on it. Aaliyah was like, girl, let me help you. I was like, fuck that. I don't give a shit about this. These people done seen some titties before. Get me in this damn car. So they finally got me in the car. I laid down, y'all, and I fell asleep. When I tell you, and then they had a little bit of traffic, so I fell asleep, but then I kind of woke up and I was like, oh my God, just thinking to myself, this is the longest ride of my life. So then we finally got to the Airbnb, to the Airbnb, and Aaliyah had to give me some Aleve. Now, it is not recommended to take Aleve, ibuprofen, aspirin. It's not recommended to take any of that stuff because those delay wound healing, right? Even though this was the first day, I didn't have a choice because I didn't have no pain pills. She had to. So she gave me some Aleve. I ate some edibles, y'all, and that fucking helped. When I tell you I was knocked out for a few hours, she had to leave me there. She had to leave me, which is probably not a good idea because, you know, you're supposed to be making sure vitals and shit is good from jump, but she had no choice. And she left to go and get my prescription, came right back, gave me my hydrocodones and my antibiotic, and I was straight. But I gotta go back a little bit because when we first got back to the Airbnb, it was so hard to walk down it's like an outdoor hallway. We walked down the hallway and it just took me forever to get to the door. She was trying to talk to me. I couldn't talk. Y'all, I could barely stand up. When we finally got to the bathroom, y'all, she was trying to help me because my wounds were seeping, were leaking. And I was just like, Aaliyah, I gotta sit down. And I don't know, maybe she was trying to do her thing, but I just couldn't, girl. I almost fell on the floor, y'all. Like, so she got me to the bed, laid me down. That's when she gave me the edibles and the Aleve. And then she went to go get my medicine, came back, cooked dinner, took my pills, all of that. And then it was on to day 2. They text me that night, like, can you come the next day for your post-op appointment? I don't want to get out this bed. Are you kidding me? So I had to get up the next morning. Mind you, they told me I had to walk 5 to 10 minutes every hour or something like that. And so I did not walk that much, which I probably should have listened to them, but it was just so hard. I couldn't. So the next day I went back to the post-op appointment, and y'all, do y'all know she didn't even take my blood pressure? She told me basically, so we had covered my wounds, which was a no-no, but we did it because it was just so much blood everywhere. We didn't want to ruin this lady's Airbnb. And she was like, no, you should not be covering your wounds. So she took all of the bandages and stuff off. She's like, you gotta let everything just seep and leak out. You don't have a journey, so everything just has to leak out. You cannot cover it. And I said, okay, that's fine. Then she says, you need to get some long Q-tips because as soon as that hole starts closing, you need to open it back up so that fluid will come out. Who finna stick a Q-tip into my wound? You crazy as hell. Who gonna do that? Who? Because Lee ain't doing it. I ain't doing it. So I was like, all right, whatever. So then I'm like, okay, well, can I get some pads? Because I didn't want to get the lift all messed up. Do y'all know they only gave me one? I'm like, y'all motherfuckers. Did nobody take my blood pressure? Did nobody check my temperature? None of my vitals. Nothing. Nothing at all. So moving on, next day, day 3 came around and Aaliyah was taking care of me, you know, feeding me, doing everything, you know. You can't take a bath until day 3. So that was the day that I did get in the tub. She was giving me my massages, which when I was getting my massages, I was lightheaded, y'all. Those massages in the very beginning, you got to be careful because you will fall the fuck out, but you have to have them. You do. Your results depend on it. So yeah, day 3 took my bath, and then yeah, so everything progressed properly after that. It was all in all a great experience. Completely enjoyed Miami. Completely enjoyed the Airbnb. The surgery part, it was bittersweet. It was great because I finally got my surgery, but then it was like these people out here would have killed me if I didn't have the right proper help. So I mean, all in all, like I said, I give Vixen a 7 out of 10 for those reasons, a 6 out of 10 for those reasons. But if you want to see the journey for yourself, go watch my plastic surgery vlog, Miami, to see how it went, to see some of the foods that I ate, to see Aaliyah, and to see our trip. And yeah, thank y'all so much for coming through. In my next video, I'm going to do the recap of my tummy tuck or paniculectomy and my breast reduction, and I got those done at the University of Chicago, which insurance paid for. I did not have to leave home, and that experience was way better than this experience I had with Vixen. Like, I'm gonna just say, University of Chicago was like this. Lauren, wake up. Wake up. Are you okay? How do you feel? Would you like something? You gotta go to the bathroom. Are you okay? When they woke me up at Vixen, hey, wake up. It's time to get up. Come on. Come on, get in this wheelchair. So as you can see, I wasn't used to that. It was a complete different experience, and a little bit there was just no loving, caring, none of that. It was like, bitch, okay, next. Chop shop, real chop shop like. So that I'm gonna leave it there, because if not, I'm gonna go into my other experience, and that's not what I'm here to do. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will be coming back with the other videos real soon. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, all of that stuff, and I will see y'all soon. Bye bye.